I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. I take a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes, please.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion will carry. Mr. Engineer.
Morning. Not a lot to discuss, Jack. We have those agreements there, I think. I think one of them is agreement for the bridge federal aid on remember, oh,
34
it's for
over Elk
Kill, it's for
Creek.
Kildare, where we're doing that maintenance, the bridge work out there. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, we're up.
Good.
That one. And the other one is that agreement for, is that our intersection?
Is this the intersection? one?
Yeah, the intersection.
For Highway 9.
Oh,
Yes.
They're paving shoulders and they want to
Yeah.
jump in and do our intersections and gravel.
So the first one we've got here is an agreement to use federal aid spot funding for bridge on S34 over Elk Creek.
So that one needs some back wall repairs and some center line joint repairs.
So the deck was all, everything was good.
There's a
except
big gap in the deck from the T-beams, the grout fell out, so we're gonna have them fix all that, but it's a double T-beam bridge, which the deck is really, that's in really good shape. It's the wooden piles in the back wall that are always submerged that are having trouble, so we're gonna get people that know how
repair
to
it
work
before
in-
we gotta replace it.
right,
Or
get
not.
people that know how to work in the water. I mean,
Okay.
I suppose we could do it, but we just don't have the right equipment, the right
Well, they could
expertise to
bypass
do it.
water
Let's,
or-
yeah,
yeah.
and let's just get somebody in there that can do it, so that's what this project is. I think they've turned preliminary plans in already, you just need to get the agreement signed, just so we can spend the money.
Take a motion to approve the agreement for the Elk Creek Bridge.
I'll make a motion.
For a second,
I'll second it.
any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. All right, now we got an agreement for paving some of our intersections along Highway 9 on the eastern portion of the county.
I'll make that a motion to
Motion.
approve that.
Okay, so motion to approve that agreement, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion will carry.
Is today's date okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And then, July 28th, they will get a notice on this too. That group from LTAP, the Iowa State Patrol, we're gonna come look at 390th and the intersection.
Cool.
You're gonna get in brush. Okay. Sounds good.
And then, Rebel Creek, I can't remember if it's Wednesday this week for the 390th, or I think we talked about that last week.
And then what'd you say on the 105? That's gonna be.
Late August and August. Yeah.
Not any later.
Well, if they come in late August, I mean, it's probably 2 weeks of paving. The nice thing about that is if we have weather, that doesn't delay them very much, because we're not working in the mud, we're not doing dirt work, so if you get a rain day, it's a rain day and that's it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, pavement wise, it would go pretty fast, it's scheduled.
And you said they rented that place from the fireworks guy.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna be sitting there.
They gonna clean all that up, all them trees and the guys.
They need all that room, so that guy's coming out ahead.
Yeah, if they clean all them trees along that fence line.
And you know, when you think about it, I think, wasn't there a request to put is that the one that they wanted to put a building up on?
He's
They
talking
would.
about it, right?
They would if they could find a reason to use it all year round, he said.
Well,
When would
when they
pay
get a
that?
free leveled site, they'll have
That'll help.
a lot, it'll help them find a purpose too.
Right.
maybe.
He could end up with
Plus, I think
$20,000,
power,
$30,000 worth of work out of that.
there's power over there now too, that they didn't have a year ago.
Well, yeah, they'll, I don't know what they'll do for water.
I don't know if they run water over there too. I don't know. They were doing some boring.
They've got connections there, so they can
Do it.
go under the road. I think they talked to that guy about doing it, but he never did. But they put a T in for sewer. And then I think water's the same
So I don't know
situation.
what
They
the
can tie into
plant
that.
will do for water when they're paving.
I need something.
It's not unheard of that, I know sometimes they'll drill wells, but you know, it gets kind of expensive. They might find a place to get water and tank it into, so. I don't know what their plan is, but.
You might get a shovel-ready site out of the deal.
Exactly. I think there's gonna be a lot of work done already. Fortunate for them. I mean, fortunate for everybody. You get some development out there and it's gonna, somebody sees it, and pretty soon some other people are gonna wanna come in.
Finish off another lot that we didn't have to finish off.
Right.
That's a good deal.
Exactly right, so.
And I think that's what I've got for you this morning, unless you guys have any questions. Rock run is still continuing, I think, brought the basics back on the run again this week, so.
You all right?
Good. Haven't heard anything otherwise.
Makes the dust go down for a few days when they
Does
put
when
new
it's-
rock down.
When you put new rock down, it's got some.
Couple
moisture in
days,
it.
it's got some moisture in it, and it's not all broke up.
Right.
All right, anything else for Rich? Okay, thank you, sir. Drainage, I did see we had a claim. Small one of the
Stamp warrants, yeah.
What's this actual claim?
Okay.
And then stamp warrants, both. Yep. Right, motion to approve the drainage claims.
Make a motion to approve the drainage claims.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Carried. And we have patient hearings coming up at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that gonna stay in here or we're going
Going up.
magistrate? 2021 drainage assessments.
Still has those all wrapped up, so, or working on it, so those are the amounts for this year. That doesn't include DD 46 lat 9 or DD 13 lat 3 because they are going to be reclassified.
Right.
So that'll probably be a special assessment later, so that they don't
Okay.
have to keep paying.
Sure.
But DD 2 is fine.
Yes.
Excited about that.
Drainage assessments. I'll make a motion to approve the drainage assessments for 2021.
Okay, there's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor aye.
All right.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. All right, DD2, possible spraying volunteer trees along something.
It's along, there's a section of ditch that a
Oh, what else we do?
private individual cut all the trees down in, or a lot of the trees down in, and now they're, of course, they're coming back. And it'd be a prime time to get in there and get them sprayed when they're small. So we need either okay that, I guess, I would say. And
So they just took them out themselves. And
they did it
just
last
didn't
fall
spray
and
'em?
last spring, and then, we probably should have gone on it a little quicker, but I don't know if he can get in there now or not with the crop, but it's probably a good half-mile section.
Oh, really? Yeah, so we need to stay on top of it so it doesn't end up.
Well, we're gonna get the whole ditch is gonna be done eventually anyway, but it needs to be taken care of now before they get too big again. I mean, they just wasted a whole lot of time doing all that work
Right.
themselves, so.
No, that's the point of spraying is keep them all
we
under
get-
control.
yep, Get a hold of Don Reefer and see if he could work it into a schedule either this summer or late fall, whatever he thinks would be best.
Cause he's all done with the rest of it.
He should be, right?
Should be the way
I think we,
read it.
yeah, as far as I know, he's done. So,
Is there a motion to have
Don,
Don come spray the trees along DD2?
I'll make that a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Just for that section that was cleared there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That
Some, I
section.
think it's Gene Abbey's ground or Carol, I'm not sure what it's in anymore, but
But do you wanna call them or you want me to call them or what do you wanna do?
you want me to call?
That would be,
Okay,
it'd be better at explaining where it's at. Maybe,
I'll have to look in it.
or I could ask Russ. Russ might be able to do it too.
Yeah, Russ wants to do it.
If that's okay with Rich.
Yeah.
Have that book.
Son, it was Gene Abbey's ground. I don't know if it was a corporation or not, but it's Gene Abbey's and he's gone now, so she. I'd be under Carol or
Cause
something.
Russ noticed it too.
Yeah, he knows what's at. Drainage there. I see we got another bid for DD 10 from Nick. And then, did I ever give you a copy of that one? It's the first one I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're only 50,000. That's just crazy.
Well,
Do you want?
no, you can have that.
copy or-
I've got an email copy too,
Yeah.
if you want to, if you hadn't printed a hard copy. So. Any more with Pop?
No, I
Okay,
got ahold of him last week, but we weren't unable to
Yeah.
connect, so
okay,
hopefully I can get on him this week to get there. So.
So right now, we just got those two.
which is all we actually truly need to act, but
Hmm.
if we get a third one, that'd be great.
But is that gonna take care of what needs to be taken care of? Is there any other part of that that should be dealt with that we're gonna get in trouble with down the road and then they'll have to pay again?
Well, this will only affect the people on the upper end anyway, and that's. I could drive it, but I don't think there's any other tree problems down further. I mean, there, you know, Larry and Nick farm a lot of it along that stretch. I think it's all pretty clear. Jeff Lear's did farm some in that area there too, but I think that's all pretty clear. It's just that upper end that I don't know if it was not done 50 years ago, you know.
I know, Russ did mention that he wasn't sure if it was the same, that maybe Nick's
Nick, I
wasn't
think, was
covering as much as
Nick
what
was
he's
maybe
doing
missing
here.
the lateral. There's a lateral that goes up here, I believe. I think that's a lateral.
Yeah,
There was a few trees back there, so I had him quote that too, so that everything above 430th Street and or 838. Yeah, 838 Wheelerwood and 838
okay.
would be taken care of. So that
So has
would be-
Nick included this then?
No, I don't think, by the way, his map didn't quite look like it showed it to me,
Why did this guy have that?
because I told him to.
Oh, so these bids.
He already had the map when he came up and we sat there and I said that, you know, he said there, he could see a few trees back there. And so I said, go ahead, you know, quote that too. So it's all done.
So we're not comparing apples to apples here?
No, you'd be a little, we could ask Nick to come back and, you know,
Which,
Quote
that'd
that.
be another $4,500 or.
whatever, yeah, do
Yeah.
per however he's doing it on a quarterly and stuff like that on an hourly basis too.
We might want to ask him to come back and
That's something we have to look at if we get one more bid to make sure all through, you know.
they're all doing the same amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause they don't always match up.
Right.
I could give Nick a call too, if I remember to do it and just tell him to quote that
Do you
lateral.
have the number or-
I do.
Okay.
He calls me.
If you guys want some of that flown or something for newer imagery, I mean, we could get it grown up.
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting them, their aerial maps, but I mean,
Looks like those are probably the leaf on stuff
okay,
that, yeah. There's a couple other companies, agricultural stuff that do a lot of leaf on stuff.
Okay.
It's not the 3" or 6" but I mean, it's good enough for that kind of stuff.
Talk English.
Sorry.
Let's leave.
When we fly pictometry,
Yeah,
we fly 3" in the urban areas and 6" in the agricultural, so
so then that's
each
leaf.
pixel is 3 inches.
3
Oh.
inches, it's getting right down there.
So resolution is pretty darn good.
Okay.
And those, your resolution isn't as good, but you're just flying mostly for crop stands and those kind of things.
So as far as I know, if we can do tree removal, nobody's complaining about doing ditch cleaning and stuff, everybody's happy with their outlets. Nobody said anything, so as long as they're happy with their outlets. we can do the cleaning and see how that goes. I mean, that might be something that even in part of DD2, when we go, we might wanna just. Instead of totally destroying everything, maybe we're looking at doing some grinding in there and.
Right. Keep
and
some
cleaning
ranks in
whatever
there.
needs to be done when the engineer gets done with that one. Then we'll know more there, but
Mhm.
So,
All right, anything else with drainage? Claims. Use the folder claims, any questions?
I
concerns?
don't see anything.
Okay, motion to approve the claims.
so
Second,
Second it.
right? All in favor, aye.
I,
Aye, opposed? Carried. Any reports?
Got sheriff. Two monthlies and a quarterly and then my quarterly.
Motion to approve the reports from the auditor, sheriff, and three sheriff reports.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right. Payroll eligibility or salary changes?
Um,
Probationary period pay increase for Jake DeLee. Motion to approve the pay increase.
Make that a motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. All right. Liquor license?
there's just a little one. 5-day or whatever, there's at a wedding venue.
Okay.
What day?
Yeah. What time won't be?
Right up your alley.
I'll bring small gifts.
All right, motion to approve the 5-day liquor license for Rip Good.
I'll make that a motion.
Good, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
It wouldn't be Country View because they got their own liquor license.
No.
It's one of the other two.
One by, is it Hamiltown or Fertile?
The barn?
That
Barn there?
barn, yeah.
That's a nice venue. I was at a wedding there last weekend. but-
They just don't have they don't have their own liquor license.
No, it was an extra expensive something, but, so.
Probably easier because
Liability.
gram shop, just insurance and licensing.
A lot of people were going up to their cars for some.
All right, discussion on draft wind ordinance and possible litigation. Last couple weeks, I've been reaching out to a few attorneys. All of them had experience in either wind ordinances, zoning, a little bit of everything. I got pricing back from all three. I reached out to Dickinson Law Firm down in Des Moines. And they came up basically with an hourly price, and with not knowing how far it could go, they didn't really wanna give a estimate. They kinda, you need us when you need us. And so, that ended up being, $3.50 an hour. And, no, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Dickinson is not. I did get a letter from him. That rate would be $2.95 an hour.
Okay.
For the senior attorney and $2.20 an hour for the junior attorney.
Okay.
And, a rough estimate on the opinion of the ordinance would be 1,000 to 2,500. Review and revise the ordinance would be 2,000 to 7,500. And to review and revise the road development agreement could be 2,000 to 7,500. So that's just like I say, that's just an estimate. If it's decent, easy, and just obviously less time in it. There's no guarantees on bottom number or top number. So,
Right.
But yeah, that is with Dickinson Law Firm.
Okay.
Out of Des Moines. And then let's see, where's the next one? Brick and Gentry. They are a firm out of Des Moines as well. They helped Cassuth County. I got their number from Cassuth County with their wind ordinance a few years ago when they did that. And they are the ones that would be $3.50 an hour. And basically just kind of depends on how the time comes in.
Okay.
On that one, but they do have experience with wind ordinances. Like I said, they did Cassuth County a few years back. And then also got a name from a gentleman in Algona, Scott Buchanan. He did some work with Palo Alto County from their ordinance. So he's got some experience there. The only thing is timing with him is he would probably not be available until closer to September. But he came in at $2.85 an hour. And so with timing on it, he would like to help us out, but it's just probably not gonna work out. We want to keep this thing moving.
Right.
So I guess that's the three of them.
Did you say, had Dickinson helped any other counties through any of this?
Dickinson,
Other than one?
let's see. I'll go back to that one.
And that would kind of make a difference in whether, how many hours it would take them to review versus,
Yeah.
somebody that's been through a little bit of it.
Um, where- I believe he has, and I can't remember which
County.
county it was.
That's okay.
When they also have some, they have some experience also in zoning
Right.
with municipal governments.
So,
So they've got some experience all the way around.
I thought you said they had experience in all of them.
They did, yep. And these guys, I said, this might have been more of a little bit of zoning. Also, I'm not 100% sure if they've helped anybody in Iowa. If you put that in here or not.
probably have its own, for sure. They've done some stuff with them, they probably at least.
Both of them sitting in Des Moines, they have.
Yeah. Yep, they have, did put it in here though. I can't remember exactly who it was for sure, but they did have that. I said they do have experience with zoning, with municipal stuff as well, so. So I think we got, three good ones, at least got some experience in it. And it's just a matter of which one we would decide to look everything over. I told them we have everything. Basically, whoever we pick, we would just forward that on to them. They could start fairly quick on it, other than we can.
Yeah, other than Scott would be. Not available to what, first part of September?
Let's say, I'm just saying, he's got a pretty busy month and a half going, so. But I guess my recommendation would be Dickinson Law Firm.
Yeah.
They
I
got
think
a
that's what I'd
little
go
better
with,
rate, and then,
No matter who, it's gonna take probably 7 to 10 hours to review each document. So
Yeah.
They're gonna spend a day doing it
yeah.
and giving you.
And they checked, they had no conflicts, before he sent this letter, so they had no conflicts with anything. As far as representing anybody else, so. It should be good to go to get our second opinion, I guess, so. See,
I,
all right with you guys, or?
yeah, I'd go with Dickinson.
Okay.
Make that a motion.
I make a motion to go with Dixon Law Firm.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I will second it.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor aye?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion will carry. I will contact Will down there.
You gonna send all the information to him that we got?
Yep, and I'll forward
All the
the
letters and everything?
latest road agreement and the draft ordinance and send that down to them so they can get started on it. And then,
Sign this.
yep, I'll print this out, sign it, send it to them, send it back to them. So, okay, I'll contact him and get the ball rolling there so we can hopefully get an answer which direction to go. Get our second opinion anyway, so. Okay, anything else with the ordinance or litigation for now?
Yeah, just a way to cover ourselves, to make sure we did things right, or you're doing things right.
Yeah,
So,
No, that's what it needs to be, just. Make sure it's done properly. Okay, well, let's move on then. North Betco,
She texted, she's on the phone right now.
saw the message.
I asked her if she's done yet, but
Should the last little bit anyways. Marketing directors begun videos with the small businesses. And it sounds like working with utilities, discuss some more prospects in Manly. Port Authority meeting this Thursday. We haven't had one in well over a year, so we'll need to meet. And our next one with Betco board meeting will be October 18th. 2021. Advisory board, which is just you, Enos, right?
yep.
On the 20th, so. Yeah, easy enough. Okay, people service. I don't think they had anything.
didn't send us anything anyway.
I'm still waiting to hear from Jason too on the,
Rates.
well, yeah, Peoples is working on
Oh,
that,
okay.
Jason is too, but also on the water tower inspection.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we paid for that, so be nice to see it.
Yeah, at least you get a piece of paper with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll call him today. Department head discussion. Department heads,
I have one item, I guess, and this, it's coming out this week. The governor has released some CARES funds for each jurisdiction in the state for $9,500 for technology spend. So it'll be each jurisdiction, so each, because the way I'm interpreting it, it's each city or town and county will get $9,500.
How does it come out? And what do you have to fill out?
Well, here's the great idea, Jackie. So they've actually got a portal that they're standing up a portal, and you sign up for, and that it'll be made. So each jurisdiction gets one account for the portal, and then they'll have bundles that you can purchase, and it's only mobile stuff. So it's laptops, it's monitors, it's
So they've already
webcams.
decided what you're spending the money on.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's very easy. The only thing is, some of these towns and stuff, I don't know, like Joyce, are they gonna spend $9,500 on, laptops and monitors? That's up to them, I guess, but.
Right, just rebuilding the security cameras.
Well,
Yeah, they have
it's
2 buildings now. So.
Yeah, but they probably did a lot of technology
That
stuff.
might have
in
been
that,
part
didn't
of it.
probably part of it,
Building.
but
Yeah, they might have
It,
connections for that.
they're gonna release the information out to everybody. There'll be webinars that everybody can sit in on. And then if there's money left over, we can reapply for that. So I'll be asking the department heads if they have any, it's mostly work from home type stuff. Just because of the CARES Act requirements that we have in there. But I'll let you guys know as we come in, but it's nice because it is, some money for technology. Trying to buy technology hardware right now is really tough because of the supply chain problems, but this stuff is guaranteed delivered by December.
I know that you probably don't have ideas, but we talked about some kind of security cameras, part of the security deal.
And these are, cameras would not be a part of it.
They would not be part of it.
No,
Okay,
it is laptops, it
Gotcha.
is monitors, and it is webcams.
Buy a waterproof laptop with a camera on it and duct tape it to the pole.
Or a webcam.
But those cameras are the ARP.
Yeah.
You can use
Every
it
once in
there.
a while,
Yeah,
you're
I
looking for
just
laptops for
figured.
people.
Yeah.
Do
I'd jump
you
on
have
that.
enough to give out if somebody asks now or?
I've got
not?
a few, built up now just because I bought some stuff for the work from home, but I'll probably expand that a little bit more.
Sounds like COVID's ramping up again.
Do we need to upgrade any of the ones that we have?
Yeah.
Well, I know Jackie's probably up for an upgrade because her webcam was really acting funny on her this week when she was trying to get on to the ID.me. I mean, you guys, some of yours are getting old, so.
We good for 5-6 more years, at least 1.5. Then let the next guy live.
So I'll probably be reaching out to the department heads and seeing what their needs are going forward. So, but I just thought I'd mention just because the towns will be part of that, it's my understanding, so.
Okay.
I'm really glad I switched to a laptop because it's nice to be able to use it here or at home.
And all the towns get the same amount.
$9,500, that's correct.
Yeah, and if they can't use it, then they go back to the pot.
She's got, I love that.
This one? It is nice, and this is on the selection list, so. The Surface Book.
No, you guys
Comes off,
just
you can
can't,
use it as a tablet if you want.
don't let it go back, because then Polk County will get it all.
Yeah,
We will spend the 95.
yeah, might as well use
Yeah,
it.
they'll get
Joel,
their share
Joel
anyway.
can do it. I know he can.
Yeah.
He's already got that list done.
You guys heard anything else about our ARP money?
We're doing, Jackie and I gotta go through some signature stuff now to get,
I know our association's still working on what we can
If
use
you
it
can
for.
use it or not.
Well,
That
it was really described as, there's some clean water things you can use it on, so I don't know if we can utilize it for culvert work or anything like that. I don't know. Our national association is trying to get definitive answers from Washington.
isn't that infrastructure?
Well, but that ARP money is,
Yeah, it's.
there's a
pretty
definition and
particular.
they want to say that it's wide open, but really it was healthcare stuff, I think. It was
Sewer and water.
sewer,
Yeah,
water,
sewer,
and wage,
water.
it could be
And
wages, it
broadband.
could be some, but there's a defined like 4 or 5 categories that are defined in there. And it isn't, I don't think building roads is one of them, but if we could somehow use ditch cleaning as clean water or putting new culverts in, we're just trying to find that out. So I don't know if you guys have heard anything, been on any webinars about it.
Did you sit in on that webinar?
I did not.
Oh, I just went through that last week.
I was gone last week.
There's a lot of things that you could drag in there from the COVID.
Okay.
Part of it is getting ready for the next blast if they figure this one coming. They want you to be ready for it this time.
I mean, it's hard to put infrastructure into I don't know,
Definition.
well, into that definition where you need it, unless infrastructure was being used with local, like lost revenue or something, like local option sales tax or something, where we probably did see a drop in that because people weren't out and about shopping, or motel, hotel tax kind of things where people weren't staying there, so that funding is down, but property taxes didn't change. Our road use, our fuel taxes, yeah, they were down, but then we got that through another fund. So I don't know if there's a whole lot of definitions we could use for. We're waiting for answers too. I just didn't know if you guys.
Yeah, I still gotta figure out the formula on the revenue.
Because what is ours?
Ended up
One
dipping. or
Total
not.
is 1.4.
1.433.
And I think the only thing that it would apply to me would be cybersecurity enhancements. Is the only thing that's been approved for technology.
And the other side of it is your businesses in the communities.
See,
They've
and that
got
was
big
the other thing
losses.
too. You can, I think that money it wasn't necessarily for government.
Nope. you
It
can
was
use it for-
dispersed through the community.
Yep.
If I read it right, I mean, there were.
But then if you do one town, you gotta do.
Well-
Yeah, you pretty much gotta keep them all equal.
Yeah, you have to.
And towns get their own.
Yeah,
Towns get their own, do the business.
Business, yeah.
I know, like, I think Cerro Gordo may be helping some of their communities with some infrastructure, water, sewer stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard that, even the towns are getting a little bit. But if there's, an opportunity for them to capture a little more, the county is helping I don't know how, what caliber or not, but
And you gotta figure out the application process and all
Right.
that kind of stuff, so there's a lot of.
I don't know.
Hoops to
So-
jump through.
That's why they give you 5 years to spend it, because it's gonna take you that long to get it figured out.
Well,
And that's why you gotta get it and get it in an interest bearing account, so it's just at least here.
Mhm.
Because we got till December of 24, right?
Mm,
the project's gotta be completed, I think, by 26, but you got till
But you have
24
24
to
Figure out where
obligate
it's
the
going.
funds, yeah. Or the project.
December 31st of 24. But you have to have all of it done by 26.
Yeah.
And you had your Sam's number, you said, you sent us an email on that, right?
yeah,
Did you already have your Dunn's number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're set up.
Yeah, we're just, like I said, we just gotta go over some stuff, I gotta
that was not
I don't know,
fun.
some stuff and send it
It
back.
would be nice to be able to utilize all that money, like you said, when I get it back, there's a
Oh,
way
yeah,
to get rid of it.
I think we.
If we don't use it, they're gonna put it back and somebody else is probably gonna get it,
Mm.
I
so.
had to have my driver's license, my social security card, a health insurance card, a video chat. It was,
Wow.
luckily Joel was free because I was ready to start throwing things because my camera wasn't working.
Just throw that
and-
computer.
Yeah, it was
Get you a
tempting.
new one.
Well, I almost hooked up to the owl and that's what we ended up doing, so I almost had it on my own, dang it.
Yeah, if you tried to some way of using it where it happened because of COVID, you can, there's
Yeah,
a lot of ways you can tie stuff together there.
But it's gonna be
transportation
an
is
accounting
tough,
nightmare.
there, we'll find unique ways, I think, and
Well,
we'll
even
get our
tourism-
association.
Even tourism, if your tourism is down off of
Right.
it. Yeah, our problem is with like the casino and a lot of this stuff, we didn't go backwards. You know, cause you could have filled that up, which is good for us that we're ahead, but you know, if you got a loss in that area, you can fill it.
Well, okay, so would that qualify if they closed, the county lost that?
During that
revenue?
period.
I gotta look and.
I would think that because of that,
Yeah.
you would be able to get that back.
But
Because
you gotta
there's
go back
specific
so many months,
timeline and
yeah,
all that
and you gotta
stuff.
figure it out for that whole period if you lost money,
I don't think it was anything direct.
but that's something we need to look at, you might be right.
We'll be a circus act when we get done jumping through these. That's for
It'd
sure.
probably be worse than working with FEMA.
But it would be, it would be nice to use
Same
it all.
caliber, same caliber.
Well, probably not, you have to take pictures.
Yeah. Any other department heads got anything?
Nothing for reporters, looks like.
All right, Supervisor Weekly, yes.
I had Winworth Betco Executive Board Monday, like you two did. We went through the budget. They decided to switch the marketing director position from temporary to permanent. And we discussed the American Rescue Plan for housing projects and that kind of stuff. And then the other thing was, there was a prospective. And out at the interchange, he presented a concept of a fair market hall, which you all said. I had the same thing again on Wednesday as advisory board, pretty much went through the budget and then all the city updates. And they also discussed housing projects in the ERP plan. And other than that, I met with Mark Kroll on Friday.
Okay.
So pretty much the same thing you guys said, so.
I just wouldn't work back on Monday. I was gone the rest of the week, took a few days off, so.
Good.
Had nothing else.
All right. Dad went back home Monday, and then we had a special Care Connections mental health meeting Tuesday. We had to get an agreement done with another region, so subacute services. Don't ask me what it is because there's so many different things I can't even keep up, but anyways, that's one of the things the state requires us to have. And right now, our closest option for the majority of our region is Sioux City. So we signed an agreement with another region to help to work to get those services there. There are some other people, one's looking at Fort Dodge is a possibility, and I think Sac City might be a possibility. So what'll happen is for the western portion of our region, we'll probably stick with for now, it's just a 1-year contract with Sioux City, but if something else would come up, there's a couple other places that have just basically pay for the services as we use them, so we wouldn't have to commit any monies unless we use that service. So then we would hopefully get to where we would haul them to Fort Dodge or Sac City instead of the 220 some miles to Sioux City, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a burden, so hopefully, as things are progressing now with the state changing things, these services are coming up a lot quicker. And there's other people taking them on, so hopefully we can get something closer where if we get the deputies taking somebody somewhere, it's 2 hours instead of 4, so.
Yeah, it's a long drive. I just went there for auditor school.
Mhm.
It is.
So when you get a female, you send a deputy and a matron, so you're paying 2 salaries.
Mhm. Entire day and just road time plus whatever time you have there.
Mhm.
So it's, so for a while now, I mean, we have the service available, but it's gonna be a pain for us until we get one a little closer, and then we'll jump on with somebody there so we can. Cause the travel time technically is 120 miles, supposed to be within 120 miles.
Right.
So
I'm guessing Sac City isn't even, oh, that'd be close.
it's
probably.
pretty close, we're within probably 10 minutes or so, and then Fort Dodge is about the same, so.
Let us redo what we want, and then they'll maybe force us to go back to bigger.
Right, so. But anyways, we got that covered, the services are covered, it's just gonna be a pain for a little while if we have to go to Sioux City, but otherwise still moving forward there. And then I just met with Mark Call on Friday afternoon also. Had some discussion on the road agreement and a soft map of the possibilities, and pretty much told him I'd like to get a map, like guaranteed map, and get a number, so we can be on the same page as, possibilities, but he said they're gonna lose some. I said, okay, figure that out, and let's get it nailed down, so. And then we'll let the lawyers take care of the rest. All right, that's all I had. Think of anything else coming up we all need to be at, so.
How about Melissa? She's back on.
Melissa, you back on or are you still on the phone?
There she is.
I'm done. Sorry about that.
Okay. We got your message or your chat through there, so
Okay.
we're just waiting on, oh, you did see that email from Jeff Grieve, right?
Yes.
Came back on our prospect out there and we'll decide what we wanna do. So I guess we'll have to discuss that here at some point. Get that figured out, get it back to Jeff. So. What do you think?
I'm thinking if you, I mean, it's a lease to own. If you're gonna do that, I would suggest maybe just doing it on one lot. I don't know about tying up 3 other lots with auctions.
Right.
7 years is a long time to time up.
Right, and that's kind of my thought too. But Jeff said we can do it pretty much if we want, we just gotta decide and let's figure out what kind of precedents we're gonna set with everybody else too. But
But it was a 1-year lease, the way Jeff, I read it, right?
I'll have to read it
They do it a
again.
year at a time.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess better reread that.
Maybe,
So we
so-
pretty
That's
much
the way I
do what
read
we
it.
wanted to, okay.
Yeah.
And we'd have to do public hearing every time, is that right?
I should have
The
read it.
reread.
there's the process.
Yeah.
If it changes, if anything changes from what we've got right now of just the flat out rate, we have to do public hearings on it because it's.
I think don't quote me, but I read it, and it was 1 year.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's why we set the prices the way we did, this way we could just do the one hearing on the lots for sale, like if somebody came in and offered us a different price, we'd have to go back through and do public hearings on that. So hopefully we can just sell them as is to avoid the public hearings, but I guess we have to, so.
Any lease greater than 1 year would require a public hearing and a resolution approving the lease.
Okay, that's what it was.
That's.
So that means we'd only have to do it once. We'd be proving for the 7 years if we did it, so.
Okay, well, I guess we can think about that a little more and we'll discuss it next week. If that for you,
Yeah, I also am planning on contacting WCTA and Harlan Power.
see where they're at with their end of the project.
Yes.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yep.
right. Nothing else?
We can, recess,
We'll
and
do
I got a
recess.
different Zoom for.
Okay. We'll recess our meeting for now until our 10 o'clock completion hearing, which will be that Zoom link right below it if anybody wants to join on that.
So then
So,
we'll continue our meeting with that Zoom link, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Just so public knows.
yeah, with
because it
that, with
won't
that Zoom
be,
link.
because it'll just be regarding during.
Right.
Do we need to keep this Zoom going then, or can I close this one out?
Close that
Close
one
this
out.
one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave this meeting.
Okay, we'll recess till 10 o'clock.